is basically a jerk. Okay? Because then the Attorney General is in a position where she has to defend her boss.
We are not coming off these charges. We are looking at everything, especially if this is a concerted effort. This is domestic terrorism. And Maria, now you have this Congresswoman Crockett who is calling for attacks on Elon Musk on her birthday. Let's take him out on my birthday, she says. Yet she turns and says, oh, I'm not calling for violence. Well, she is an elected public official. And so she needs to tread very carefully, because nothing will happen to Elon Musk, and we're going to fight to protect all of the Tesla owners throughout this country, and it's basic safety. Once again, domestic terrorism is going to come to a stop in our country.
The sitting Attorney General go on, and I'm gonna call it faux news. I know some of y'all love it, but it's fake to me. To have her go on Fox News and to then decide that she wanted to send a threat to me, it was wrong. Because here it is, she is the highest law enforcement agent in this country, and people are watching and they are consuming this information, and they are believing that simply because I decided that I wanted to exercise my right to free speech, which I am not abridged from doing, that she then wanted to then politicize something that should not be politicized. I don't like Elon Musk. I'm going to say it 50,000 times. I don't like him. I don't like that he going out there and he firing people. I think that he's a crook, because somehow the rest of us can't sit around and get whatever federal contracts we want. The rest of us can't sit around and get law enforcement and get them somehow ordained as federal law enforcement to protect him. The rest of us can't get our dealerships protected by the federal government. That is somebody that is operating above the law. For whatever reason, just because he has a lot of money, more money than everybody else. And yes, I am happy to see that on my birthday, which is what I said, there were peaceful protests around this world against him, because he is a problem. And so you never should have somebody that is sitting that high and is going to sit up here and threaten a sitting member of Congress when she knew good and well, if she watched the entire thing, that I specifically told protesters to make sure you consult with lawyers, just like I've told protesters over and over and over in the history of me advising people to go out and exercise their constitutional right. The fact that there are other sitting members that have received letters of threat from this new DOJ tells me that they are about retribution and they are not about following the law. The reason that our party, or I won't even say our party, our country is torn apart is because we can't even agree on right versus wrong. This should not be left versus right. The only thing that we're asking is that we have law enforcement that will show up when there is an actual.
This is what happens when the Attorney General of the United States goes on cable news and decides to punch down at a sitting member of Congress instead of doing her actual job. This is bigger than Jasmine Crockett, and it's bigger than Elon Musk. This is about whether the justice system belongs to the public or to the powerful. Because when the Attorney General uses her platform to publicly shame and threaten members of Congress for exercising free speech, it sends a message far beyond Capitol Hill. It tells activists to stay quiet. It tells lawmakers to fall in line. It tells everyday people that criticizing billionaires might come with consequences. That's not democracy. That's fear-based governance. Jasmine Crockett wasn't reckless. She was honest. She said she doesn't like Elon Musk. She said she doesn't like how he fires people, hoards power, and benefits from a system rigged in favor of people who already have everything. And she said protests against that kind of power should be peaceful and lawful. That's not radical. That's American. What is radical is an attorney general suggesting that dissent equals danger. What is radical is a DOJ that appears more interested in retribution than restraint. And what is radical is watching the machinery of government slowly shift from protecting rights to policing opinions. This isn't left versus right. Crockett said it herself. This is right versus wrong. And the reason this country feels so torn apart right now is because too many people in power are willing to sacrifice principle for loyalty, willing to twist the law to protect the wealthy while threatening those who dare to speak up. If we can't even agree that elected officials have the right to criticize billionaires without being labeled extremists, then the problem isn't protesters. The problem is power. And until we start calling that out, clearly, loudly, and unapologetically, it's only going to get worse. As always, thanks for watching. If you found this video interesting, hit that like button, subscribe for more content like this, and we'll see you next time.